All right, welcome back to the Name Redacted podcast, America's most beloved podcast, the most downloaded Red Sox podcast in the world. This must be one of the first times that we've recorded coming off of like a loss in a while. I feel like I don't love the tone. I don't love the vibe going into this podcast. But at the end of the day, the Red Sox still won the series. But I open up my Twitter and I'm seeing a lot of people are coming at me being like, oh my God, you said that the A's aren't a real baseball team and you just lost to them. So does that mean the Red Sox aren't a real baseball team? Because where do the Red Sox go? Fucking 6-1 against the A's?
Yeah, 1-1 in their last 10 series. Like, cry about whatever you want here. The Red Sox been playing good. I think the only reason to really be upset with this game is you beat yourself. The A's didn't beat you. You beat yourself.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm not mad. Jake, you mad?
Not mad at all.
No.
Okay. Can I be honest?
Sure.
I'm a little mad.
Are you mad or are you frustrated?
Frustrated. I'm more mad that no matter what the Red Sox do, multiple teams just keep on winning. The Guardians entered. They were half a game back today. Last time I looked, they were still leading the Rockies going into the 8th inning. And of course, the Rockies can't do anything right. So, they weren't going to be able to capitalize on the bases loaded and no outs. But it would suck to end today and not be holding on to that spot to, kind of be in flux once again. And I don't think the Guardians will be there by the end of the year, but just nagging. I'd like a little more breathing room. And I think on top of today where the amount of guys you left on base, the game really wasn't as close as it seemed. You got lucky on that Jonah Bride error late in the game that brought you back in it. Just a little frustrating. But yeah, anyone who's sobbing in your mentions right now, get a hold of yourself, please.
Yeah. Baseball season's too long to get in your feels about all that stuff right now. You lost a game to the A's. Okay. It happens. You can't win every single game against the A's. All right, fine. But at the end of the day, you're in a spot that you didn't think that you were going to be in a month ago, a little more than a month ago. You were 9 games under 500. You were nowhere near a playoff spot, and the Guardians did win today. So now you are a half game back of the Guardians for a playoff spot. But
listen, it's June 16th. Like, am I sobbing over the standings? No. I just would have preferred if the Guardians, while the Red Sox were hot, like the Yankees, whatever. I legit don't even care if they win or lose anymore. I'm not focused on them.
No.
The Guardians continuing to win, a little annoying. But at the same time, the Rays haven't been winning lately. So while the Guardians are on your ass, the Rays are no longer so far away from you.
Yeah. I'm not overly concerned about this. It's kind of like, I feel kind of like nothingness after this series, mostly because you can't come away from this series learning anything at all. Like, if they swept the series, then it's like, what do you learn from that? Oh, well, you learn that the Red Sox are significantly better than the A's. Well, yeah, we knew that already. Okay, like we knew that. Losing that game, what fucking day is it? It's Thursday. Losing that day game on Thursday. Did we learn anything from that loss? Not really. No. There's that one play with Trevor Story and everyone was killing him. That's Duran's ball. You're the center fielder. You call off your second baseman that's midway to your defensive position in center field. You got to call him off.
Alex Cora also reiterated that was the first thing. Like when he sat down today, I think the first question was like, how did you feel about how Story handled that ball? Immediately said, it's on Jarren Duran. And listen, I'm a Jarren Duran guy. I want to see him get more time out there. It's obviously a weird roster fit, but that defense, that stuff right there is why the Red Sox have been hesitant to have him up here. Whether it's been in center field or one of the corners, they don't like the defense. And that's where you miss Kike Hernandez, who would have been in there, who would have called Trevor Story off. And it's not a play where Trevor Story's sitting there and Jarren Duran's like stepping off last moment. No, Jarren Duran was like 5 feet behind him, just standing watching. Like, you at least got to be coming in there a little bit. And for those who want to say, well, Story called the ball. Yeah, guess what? Who has priority? If you hear Jarren Duran calling for that ball, it's his ball. It's that simple.
Yeah. People were getting on Story for that. It's like, that's not Story's fault, dude.
I think people are just redirecting their anger with him at the plate, which I think is fair. It's definitely disappointing to see how lost he is right now because he looks as lost as he did in April at times. But yeah, just redirect the anger in the right places. Don't take it out on him for that. And that inning's still unraveled. What about Rafael Devers? I love Devers. Give him credit for that ridiculous play he made in the 8th inning. Also, a run comes in because that ball went through your legs.
Yeah, right.
You know, if you're going to cry about Trevor Story making a play that really wasn't his ball, that led to, those runs. All right, well, you got to also hold Devers accountable for a ball that went between his legs.
Mm-hmm.
Just a game where you beat yourself. You defensively beat yourself. You left all these guys on base and you pitched well enough, which, it's the A's. So, clap somewhat. We know it's not much of a challenge, but you should have been coming out of here with a sweep. I think people are just on edge a little bit with the Cardinals coming to town.
Yeah, I'm watching this Story play over and over again, and I mean he's pretty far out there in center field, but he's calling for it, and then he looks camped under it. Like I don't know what went wrong here. I don't know if he was like shit, like I'm worried about running into Duran, but he called for it. Looked like he was camped under it, and it just drifts over his head. That was a funky play.
Did you, Jared, you were at the ballpark today, so I don't know if you noticed, but the broadcast kept saying the wind was blowing heavy out. I don't know if that was what ultimately caused it. Story's under it and it just keeps going and going. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the broadcast said it a few times today.
Yeah, it was windy. When I was walking to Fenway, it was windy. But then we had like a suite. We were in the Legends suite next to Chaim Bloom. Got to see Chaim. Got to see your boy. Got to see Chaim today.
Did he ask about me?
Yes.
Thank you.
So how's my boy Milliken doing? I was like, he's doing great.
What a sweet guy.
Yeah, he's always thinking of you.
I'm always thinking of him too.
Oh, he knows that.
I hope
he does.
Love you,
but he does love you. He told me to tell you that.
I feel a little bit better now.
Mm-hmm.
You should have opened with that before the podcast.
It was a slow burn.
A little bit of a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for always taking care of me.
Always. It's my priority. It's my number one priority. But that was my vantage point, so I didn't really get to experience too much of the wind up there. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna dissect Thursday's loss too much, like it's anything that you need to take a huge amount from. Like, I guess if we're going to talk about Jarren Duran's defense, like that's something that's kind of been a theme with him. Like, is he going to be able to play center field at the big league level? How does he project as a big league outfielder? Well, stuff like this, that's his ball. He's got to call for it. And I think, if you're a casual baseball fan watching that game, I saw a lot of people coming at Story for that, and it just quite simply was not his ball. So I'm glad Cora kind of said that, like right off the bat, like, hey, by the way, that's Duran's ball. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think, and I knew that going into this series, I was like, if the Red Sox don't sweep the A's, we're gonna be just overanalyzing whatever losses come from this series, because Boston have been playing so well of late for a month and a half, and if you lose one of these games, everyone's gonna be, how the fuck do you lose to the A's? The A's are so bad, and it just makes it that much worse when it's the finale. Like if they lost the first game and then you win the next two, no one gives a fuck. We're not even talking about that loss.
Look at Seattle.
It's the last one. Yeah. Yeah, Saturday. That's Saturday. I'm still pissed about that.
Annoying loss. But that's it. And I think with Jarren Duran, there's still some promising things he showed at the plate. I don't want to get too down on him, but when you talk about a Red Sox team that went and dealt for Jackie Bradley Jr. because they care that much about outfield defense, one of the reasons their pitchers are overperforming their FIPS in a lot of ways. And, you have a rotation that is the sixth best ERA in baseball right now. If you need a little positivity there, defense plays a big part in that. And it bit you there. But ultimately, listen, you scored 3 runs and you were gifted one of those runs.
Mm-hmm.
Got to be better than that. And that's where I look at and I say, Trevor Story, 0 for 5. Alex Verdugo, 0 for 5. Both of those guys just struggling to consistently produce. And there's been some great moments for Dugo the night before. 4 ribbies. He had like 890 OPS in June coming into today. And stung a couple balls. He wasn't helpless out there. Story, the at-bats are ugly. They're definitely not pretty right now.
No. He's been so hot and cold. And when he's cold, it's ice cold. It was bad. But one thing I did kind of want to point out here was Winkowski in the middle game made his big league debut. I think he had like 4 walks or whatever it was. Looked very uncomfortable, could not control the baseball. And that's not what we saw from him down in Worcester. So as much as I was looking forward to his debut this year, and it was disappointing, I was looking forward to that second start. When's his second start going to be with the Red Sox? When is there going to be an opportunity for him to come back and sort of redeem himself? And with Nathan Eovaldi and Garrett Whitlock on the injured list, we saw that last night. He squared off against James Caprillion, who is awful. Awful. 3 2/3, 7 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned. He walked 6.
Dude, Mark Kotze didn't give a fuck. He said, good luck. Like, you're throwing shit out there, and we're going to watch you throw shit out there.
The Oakland A's are an abomination. It is, I don't know. Like, I'm clearly still pissed about the Saturday loss to Seattle, but even losing just one game to this A's team, like I called it inexcusable that the Red Sox don't have a closer, and that's essentially why they lost that Saturday game against the Mariners. I think this A's team is so bad that it is inexcusable to lose a baseball game to them. Like, going down, just here are the OPSs in their lineup from the loss: 676, 702, 724, 673, 573, 596, 680, 636, 600, 441. That team somehow managed to score more runs than you on Thursday. And I get it. Paul Blackburn is a very good pitcher. He will be in Cy Young contention. He may not win it, but he will be in Cy Young contention this year. Right now, after today, 5 1/3, 8 hits, but only 1 earned run, punched out 4. His ERA on the year is down to 2.26. So he's having himself a great year. But if you listen to the last episode, you would know that his worst outing of the season came against the Boston Red Sox. So they've seen him. They've already hit him. And he made some adjustments, apparently, because, you've got Devers was 0 for Verdugo, 0 for 5, Story 0 for 5 with fucking 3 strikeouts. Like, now we're back to that bullshit where, like, not only is he not able to put the ball in play, he's just fucking punching out now.
There was one on a breaking ball in the dirt that wasn't even like, it was never ever looked like even a pitch you should consider. And he just completely swung out of his shoes at it. But even with Paul Blackburn, tip your cap to him. He's pitched well this year. He should have been out of this game early. You had the opportunities to knock him out early. I didn't see anything from him today that was any different than the last time we saw him. You know, whether you want to talk about in the first inning, we know Xander ends up flying out to right. They don't send Jarren Duran. You got guys on base multiple times after that. You said he gave up 8 hits?
Mm-hmm.
You got to capitalize. And they did that in Oakland. They've been doing that recently. You didn't see that today. And some of that goes to, those guys, those second-tier guys, when we talked about early in the season why this offense blew, why they suck so bad at times. It was because those second-tier guys, the Stories, the Verdugos, obviously Kike is not here, but he was part of that conversation. When those guys don't give you much, you have days like you have today.
Yeah. It's not like fucking Blackburn shut them down. 8 hits, 2 walks. The Red Sox were 1 for 14 with runners in scoring position. 1 for 14. They left 13 men on base. That's crazy. That's crazy with this lineup. And you point out the negative with Duran. Fine. Should have called off Story. But he was 2 for 3 out of the leadoff spot. And I'm looking at some of these numbers now for Trevor Story. Trevor Story today was 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts, which means that he has struck out 34 times in his last 83 at-bats.
That's bad.
Yeah. So what is it? Let me do some fucking quick math here. 34 times out of 83, I said?
Yep.
That's 41% of the time.
And on the year, he entered today with a 31% K rate on the year.
Yeah.
That's what freaks me out a little bit, because you look at, from dating back to really 2018, it, going down the numbers here, it hadn't got worse than 26.5. So I don't know if it's pressing. I think early in the year, we saw the big problem was breaking stuff. Those sliders away, eating at him again and again. And he was just he was out front on them. Now we're seeing a lot of velocity get to him. And even today, some breaking stuff again. And Cora said it's not the same issue in his eyes as it was in April. We saw the night before, Story and Cora had a moment in the dugout where apparently Story asked him, like, what are you seeing? Like, do you see something I'm doing wrong? And Cora was like, just, you'll be okay. You know what I mean? Like, typical Alex Cora, and didn't really have too much to offer on that end. It's concerning. It's definitely concerning, because you look at the sample size for this year, it's been really like a week or two of greatness, top of the hotness, but everything else has been lackluster offensively.
Yeah. I mean, that series against the Mariners, where he fucking drove in 50 runs and hit 16 home runs. Since then, coming into today, so it doesn't count today's 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts, he's hitting 218 with a 679 OPS.
Yeah, when you expect the guy to step in there, and he's basically supposed to fill Hunter Renfroe's production last year offensively. Like, that's the hope for you. Mm-hmm. Just not anywhere close to where it needs to be. And he's holding himself accountable. He sat there after the game and talked about it. It's just, do you start to fall in? This is where a lot of those doubts of, is he a Coors Field merchant? Is this a guy who just can't do it? Is he cracking? Like, I can already see the narrative coming, the comps to Carl Crawford, in terms of what, we remember Carl Crawford had a really nice May that first year here. Yeah. Things picked up, they looked better, and then we know how that whole story played out. I'm not saying I don't believe Trevor Story is Carl Crawford, but I can tell you that's the easy way to connect the dots for a lot of people who want to crap on the signing.
Yeah, so I mean, he's got to be, since that Baltimore series, that 4-game series, was it 4 or 5?
5.
Yeah, 5. Since that 5-game series with Baltimore, actually, let me see if I can get the updated numbers, because he's got to be hitting under 200 since then.
Yeah. And listen, I understand a lot of people want to immediately jump off the bridge. He's been great defensively. I know a couple things today weren't the prettiest, but he's been, outs above average, way up there with the best in baseball. The base running's been good. He still hasn't been thrown out this year. He's 8 for 8 on stolen bases. It's just, especially when it comes to the base running and stuff, you can't access that unless you're actually getting on. And I think that's where you're missing out on some of that Trevor Story package. Just not a great spot. And I think for him, it's clear. It's a lot of pressing. He looks like he's just trying way too hard out there.
Yeah. Well, you set the bar pretty fucking high. All right. So since that 5-game set against the Orioles, including today, that's 18 games. He's hitting a $188 with a 557 OPS. So when he was in God mode against the Mariners, that 4-game series, and then I think they went to Chicago after that to play the White Sox. I think he hit 1 or 2 more there.
Yeah, you had the, it was 1 home run and then a grand slam? Or was it a 3-run jack or whatever it was? The one that barely got out.
He had, in that White Sox series, he had 2 games where he homered and drove in 4. So it was the Seattle series where he hit 3 homers, then 1 homer, and then none, and then 1. So he hit what? 5? He hit 5 against Seattle, and then he hit 2 against the White Sox. Since then, he has hit 0, and overall is hitting 188 with a 557 OPS over his last 18 games, with a strikeout percentage of 33.3%.
When was the last time, Jared, you remember him squaring up a baseball? I have the moment in my head. I remember. I'm not even talking about a homer or a hit even. Just last time you saw him actually square up a baseball.
I think maybe in Oakland.
I'll go the Angels.
Did he one hop the wall?
Yeah, that was a hit. There was a ball he hit against the Angels that did not get out. That would have been a homer in like something like 10 to 13 ballparks or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's been a while. You go and look at his Baseball Savant page right now. He's in the 33rd percentile for hard hit percentage. 18th percentile for expected batting average. 5th percentile for K percentage. 17th percentile for whiff percentage. It's just, he's whatever it is at the plate. Like he went from a guy who was constantly squaring things up. We're talking about the ball screamed off his bat. It's just, it's not there. And, say what you want. A guy can still hit a ball hard, but it's not getting out of the ballpark. If he couldn't hit home runs like he did in Colorado, it just seems like at the mess as a whole, or at the plate as a whole, he's a mess. The approach is damaged. He's having a hard time picking up on baseballs. And I don't know if it's, the conversation of how pitches move differently once you get out of Colorado, but I think they're all fair things to consider right now.
I would agree. What's your concern level with Trevor Story?
Oh, I hate it because I was a big Trevor Story guy, and I still like Trevor Story a lot. I still think he's going to be a very good player, and I thought he was going to be someone who came here and was like a 20-20 guy, give you 20 bags a year, and he's still on pace for that. But I'd say I'm at probably a 6.5.
On your concern level?
Yeah, I'd say about 6.5. I don't know. Maybe that's a lot. Probably closer to, I'd say 6.5, right in that area.
Wow.
Not that he's going to be a bust or anything, but for this year as a whole, that we're going to see a lot of this struggling to find himself here.
Jake, where are you at on your concern level with Trevor Story?
I'm probably at like a 3 or a 4, just because I feel like he can turn it around so quick. Like we saw that stretch. He was pretty bad to start the year and then absolutely went off. So I still have faith.
Yeah. I mean, even with that God mode week or whatever the fuck stretch time it was, Trevor Story's numbers for the year, he's hitting 218 with a 708 OPS.
And like, I'm not trying to crap on him when he's down. Those 2 hits he got yesterday, BABIP luck. Yeah. There was a little dinky shot right in front of the plate and a ball that squeaked through because of where the guys were shifted.
Yeah.
Like, he's just not squaring baseballs up. And I think he'll figure it out. Like, I want to say that again. I'm not telling you I don't believe in Trevor Story or I don't like Trevor Story. But this striking out problem, like, we're talking about an issue that's really existed for 2+ months now. Mm-hmm. Like, you're not going to survive striking out 30% of the time in the big leagues like this.
No.
Especially him. And he's someone who you don't get the full Trevor Story package unless he's making contact. Then you can see him beat out baseballs and steal bags and do that different stuff. You're not getting any access to that. And I have a hard time. Like, I'm trying to think of guys who looked this lost at the plate in recent years. It's not an easy kind of thing to compute in your head.
No.
And whatever it is, it's obvious something, whether it's the stuff outside. I know he's going through a lot. New kid, new city, Boston. It just feels like there's a lot on his shoulders.
Where was all that when he was fucking hitting 680 with a 2000 OPS?
And that's the question. It's like, you saw it for a week. Is it just like when these downs come, they fall really hard? Like, he's working hard. Like, no matter what you want to say about Trevor Story, he is working his ass off. He is putting that fucking time in. And Alex Cora is saying it. He's in that, taking BP, doing whatever after games. There was a great feature on The Athletic about it, I think, from Chad Jennings. You just kind of look like it's not a bad luck thing. This isn't bad luck. This isn't Alex Verdugo, what we've talked about a lot of the year, where the expected numbers say he should be way better. The expected numbers are actually telling you, like, this is what he's been. Mm. And that's where I start to get nervous. Yeah, it's just because something has to change. And it changed for a week. It was awesome. That week was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. But this isn't a guy who's getting robbed. This is plate approach issues, chasing constantly. Like, and his defense has a lot of value. I want to emphasize that. It means a lot for Bogaerts in terms of positioning. We've seen how much the Red Sox defense has improved. But at the end of the day, if he's swinging the bat like this, you're going to see some periods, I think, where the Red Sox offense, stutters a little bit, like we saw the first month. And that's just something they can't afford to do.
That's the thing is, you mentioned Verdugo too. The Red Sox lineup is so much more dangerous and lengthy when Trevor Story, I don't even, it would be totally unreasonable to expect Seattle, Chicago, Trevor Story. We don't need that.
No.
But we can't use this. You can't use fucking sub 200 striking out 40% of the time Trevor Story. Like that does no one any good. And Verdugo, it's, he's hitting the ball hard, but you get those two guys to actually perform to the back of the baseball card. And that's why the Red Sox were at a point for a month and a half now where they've been the best offense in baseball. It's because you weren't just depending on Bogaerts and Devers and JD. That's it. You have the guys, you have the names, the talent is in the lineup. It's just when Story's not going and Verdugo's not going, it's a completely different team. It's a top-heavy lineup where even today, in the ninth inning, it's like, all right, the A's went through in the eighth inning the guys that they needed to get through. So they set themselves up for the ninth where it's like, all right, yeah, this isn't that tall of a task. I mean, we're not going to see Bogaerts, Devers, or JD in the ninth. So we like our chances. And guess what? 1, 2, 3. That's how it went down.
Yeah, I think you look at that situation, it's just like, with Trevor Story, does the sample size tell you he's a lot better baseball player than this? Yes, it does. And even if you want to go and cite the road splits, whatever it may be, we've heard about really the biggest adjustments. Nolan Arenado talked about it. DJ LeMahieu talked about it. And how, it really isn't about just only being able to hit it Coors Field. It's more how the ball moves. And we saw those guys have gone on to have success. We consider Trevor Story in that caliber of player. You know what I mean? An elite enough where even if the numbers came down a bit, he'd still be a very good ball player. It's just not there. And these plate approach issues, it's even down the stretch last year, people want to cite Trevor Story's numbers and say, well, look, he already showed you he was slowing down. He was great over the final 2 months of last year. The bat was exactly what it had been. So I don't know what's changed since he's got here. I don't know if it's a mixture of a slow start, pressing, like it's in there. That's the thing. And that's where I'll give Jake credit and hold on to some of that stuff. We know what's in there. We've seen it be in there. It's just, it's been there for like 5% of the season.
Right.
And ultimately this team, like if they end up coming short, it's going to be easy to see where blame gets directed.
Where do you think it's going to go?
I think he'll bounce back. I don't know if we'll see the version of Trevor Story a lot of us anticipated this year, but I still think he can be a 2020 guy this year. Batting average probably isn't going to be what a lot of people like, but
I would be happy with 240.
That's beautiful. Nobody's
give me
asking.
240 with an 800 OPS. Is 800? Is that too overzealous?
He had like a 780 OPS at one point, and it was like 10% above league average.
Yeah,
I'd take that. Like, just give me a 2020 year with Gold Glove defense, and hey, the batting average, could it be better? 100%. Great thing to work towards next year.
Yeah,
but right now, it's like the OBP is about to go below 300.
Jesus. Yeah, that can't happen. I don't want the batting average below 240. I don't want the on base below 310. And then I guess the slug 450.
Just look his BABIP this year. It's 293. It's not miserable.
No.
You know what I mean? You're not looking at it and you're saying, damn, this guy's getting fucked every single day.
Yeah.
He's not.
Verdugo's been getting
fucked nonstop. Oh my God. Every single angle he's got fucked. And I like Alex Verdugo a lot. And we see it. He's lining balls, whatever it may be. Finally, and props to him, got off the shine with that homer he hit. That excites me. It's just, you could see that it was a matter of time for him. With Trevor Story, it's it's more than that. Something's not right up here. There's a plate approach problem, and that's just not an easy thing to fix overnight.
No, I mean, it's not like it's uncharacteristic for Trevor Story to be a strikeout guy. He's a strikeout guy. There's a lot of swing and miss there. It is what it is. But when you're not running into damage, I can take a 3 strikeout night if you bang a homer and mix a double in there or something. But it's been feast or famine with Trevor Story to this point. I know this happens with any big contract guy in a new market. A lot of people just want to pull the plug on it immediately. It's, if you've paid attention to Trevor Story in Colorado, he's done this before. Maybe not to the extent of sucking this bad. When it's been bad, it's been real bad. But obviously we've seen when it's been good, it's been otherworldly. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with Trevor Story. We lost Tyler, but that's okay. Because you know what? While we're trying to get Tyler back, I got to tell you, I'm going to the Celtics tonight. I'm going to Game 6. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, how are you getting there?
I'm using SeatGeek, Jake.
It's a good call.
Yeah. I mean, it's no matter what happens, it is the last Celtics game of the year. And, I'm going down with the ship one way or another. And I'm not breaking the bank for it either because of SeatGeek. I'm going out there. I'm getting a good price on a great ticket. And that's what SeatGeek's all about. They love getting you good deals. And SeatGeek is so beloved by butts everywhere that they've made it the highest rated ticketing app. Whether it's concerts, baseball, basketball, football, festivals, or anything else, SeatGeek puts tickets from all over the web in one place to make buying simple. SeatGeek rates tickets from 0 to 10 to make sure that you're getting a good deal. Green means good, red means bad. And you, listening right now, can get $20 off your first purchase with the promo code Jared. That is JARED at SeatGeek.com or on the SeatGeek app. That is promo code Jared for $20 off your first SeatGeek order. SeatGeek, get your seat in a seat and download the app today. While we wait for Tyler to come back, Jake, what do you got on Game 6 tonight?
I think I said it on the stream the other night, but I think it's a big Tatum game. I think he's going to leave his mark. Steph had his big game. Tatum really hasn't broken out and taken control of a game yet, and I think he's due for that tonight.
He's very due. Because I think it was Game 5 where Tatum kind of started off hot a little bit, and I was like, uh-oh. I was like, if you got Tatum sinking shots, then now you got a real problem. Or I think it might have been Game 4. They lost Game 4? Yeah. That was the game where I was like, if Tatum gets hot, then now you get a problem. And then he cooled off immediately, and they lost that game. But what are you feeling in your soul? Do the Celtics make this a 7-game series?
Yeah, I think they do. It's just every time we've had an elimination game this playoffs, we stepped up to the plate. Backs against the wall, we've delivered every time. So
What are they?
I mean, I'm not
elimination games.
Yeah, and we were down 3-2 to the Bucks and won that one. So
we didn't come this far just to get this far, Jake.
no, we didn't.
No. So we get the Celtics tonight, thanks to SeatGeek. I'm pumped about it. It's going to be loud at the Garden. But before I go to the Garden, I'm probably going to end up needing to eat something. I'm going to need my energy, and that's why I'm rocking with Freshly, and it's food that's fast. It doesn't have to be fast food. Freshly offers quality meals without the hard work. Their meals are designed by nutritionists, cooked by chefs, then delivered fresh. Other meal deliveries need to be prepped and cooked, but Freshly is ready to eat in just 3 minutes. No one wants to spend an hour cooking dinner after a rough day at work or an infuriating commute. At the end of a long day, takeout doesn't have to be your only option for an easy dinner. Whether it's you or your whole family, Freshly gives you convenience, flavor, and nutrition. Get new delicious, chef-made, nutrient-packed meals delivered straight to your door. No cooking required. Fresh and never frozen. Ready to heat and enjoy in just 3 minutes. Use the Freshly website or app to find meals that fit your lifestyle with plans that work for your dietary needs, preferences, taste, and family size. Choose from over 50 nutritionist design entrees like their classic steak peppercorn, multi-serve sides like their masterful mac and cheese, or their new line of plant-based meals. Skip the grocery shopping and dirty dishes. Your meals arrive cooked and fresh every week. New meals are added weekly, so you're never stuck eating the same thing over and over. So stop stressing about dinner. Right now, Freshly is offering our listeners $125 off your first 5 orders when you go to freshly.com/Boston. That is $125 off at freshly.com/Boston. What a deal. It's a great deal. Rafael Devers hit a home run in 4 straight games. That streak came to an end today in the finale. And I know, it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it, but the Red Sox won that series. So that means we got to hand out some ketchup. And we only have 2 people here because Tyler apparently is dead. Pete is still covering hockey, and I don't think we're ever going to see Pat on a podcast ever again.
Yeah, maybe not.
He just never comes on the podcast anymore. Can't force him. Can't force him to come on. But yeah, it's always a no from Pat.
What do you say tonight? Just can't, sorry.
Something like that, yeah. Is that what he said?
Yeah. Yeah, I said Pete, Pat. He just goes, can't, sorry.
At least Pete addressed his absences on Twitter. Pete sent out a tweet. Let's see. He tweets so fucking much. Pete tweeted, getting a good amount of tweets complaining about my lack of attendance on the Name Redacted podcast. I know it's annoying, but it's also not my full-time job. I told Jared Carrabis from the start I can't fully commit until after hockey ends. Still the plan. Miss you all. Go Sox. And then he said, plus Pat Light and I are busy planning our spin-off show. Those 2 episodes a year are going to hit. Yeah. I mean, Pete has an excuse. Pat, no excuse.
Pat did address it on Twitter, though, as well.
What did he say? I'm a fucking drunk asshole, idiot.
He said, I hope everyone knows I would love to be on it more. Unfortunately, my day-night job keeps me quite busy. I apologize to all Carrabis Pod listeners.
Getting the top reply said, getting wasted isn't a job, Pat.
Hello.
Tyler's back.
Ugh. My Wi-Fi blows. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Someone
But I
also
missed.
responded and say, you're an alcoholic. We're going over Pete and Pat's apology tweets for never being on the podcast.
Oh, Pat put one out? I only saw Pete's.
Yeah, it was slurred speech.
Ugh.
There's a lot of slurred speech.
The drinking issue just isn't getting any better, huh?
No. It's really not. But the Klark's Ketchup Series MVP. Red Sox won this series. I know it feels like a downer. It feels like a downer pod because they lost the finale. But that's a series dub for the Red Sox. And when there's a series dub, we hand out Ketchup. Let's see. Let's look at the numbers here. I mean, I guess like what stands out is Devers homering in every game except for the last one. So I feel like it's going to be more Ketchup for Devers. But
yeah, I'm kind of in the same ballpark. Very good defensively this series. Obviously, he had that bad moment in the 8th, but that last game, like we said, we're going to pretend it didn't happen. Right. Had a ridiculous catch within itself today. Yeah, I don't know how you don't look at Devers getting to the point where you homer 4 games in a row.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you this right now. Wait, what? Devers hit 200 in this series? Wow, he just fucking hit 2 home runs and that was it?
Just 2 massive bombs. I'm getting Bogarts had a good amount of hits in the series, right?
Bogarts hit 545 in the series.
Jeez. How many RBIs?
Let me see. Counting. Bogarts drove in 4 runs. Devers drove in 5.
Ooh.
Devers drove in 5 runs and hit 2 homers. Bogarts didn't hit any homers. Drove in 4. Verdugo drove in 4. Verdugo hit a homer. JD hit a homer. Those are the only homers in the series.
I might actually have to switch my vote to Xander. Just thinking back now, to hit 500, only 1 less RBI than Rafi. Didn't have an ugly error in this series. Actually, made another nice play today. Another nice play in the hole the day before.
Xander had 6. He went 6 for 11 in the series with 4 singles, 2 doubles. That's it. Scored 2 runs, drove in 4. You know who did lead the Red Sox in total bases in this series?
Who was it?
Julio Daniel.
Not crazy either.
Julio had 3 singles, a double, and a homer.
Should have tied the game today if it wasn't for Tony Kemp.
Rafi was 2 for the series, but those 2 hits were homers. Rafi scored 6 runs. He walked 4 times. And he got hit by a pitch.
Right off the elbow.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, trying to think of like who.
This last game's messing us up.
It is. Because, I mean, JD.
I don't like the vibes. I don't like anything right now.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we're like in a bad space.
Yeah. It's like you don't like play the victory song after you lose. But.
No, it's what we talked about. Why we were so thankful they won in Seattle.
Right.
Like we got to feel good at the end of that road trip, and honestly, this is the beginning of a homestand. But
yeah,
bad taste in our mouth.
JD had 3 hits today. JD was 3 for 5.
Really gave you a chance. At least he delivered in a moment when the team didn't deliver throughout the entire day.
So then that begs the question, though. If JD had 3 hits today, then that means that he had 2 hits for the whole series coming into today. His 3 hits were in a losing effort. How valuable can that be?
Not that valuable.
No.
I think it's a Bogarts versus Devers discussion.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. How many hits did Bogey have today? 1. Okay, so he didn't waste any hits. I mean, Devers just straight up only hit homers, literally.
And Bogarts did have a couple tough moments with guys left on base today. I do think that's fair. Whether you want to talk about the first inning with Duran at third, but I think it depends on how much you're holding Devers on that error. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. I mean, that led to a run, and they lost by 1 run. I don't think you can give it to Devers. You would have swept if it wasn't for that one Devers play at third base.
You're not saying anything crazy. I think that's just being fair.
I think it's process of elimination. Xander Bogaerts is the Klark Ketchup Series MVP.
I'll line up with that. 2 votes.
Jake?
Yeah, I mean, I guess he is, but I don't know. When I'm drizzling Ketchup, I feel like I'm always leaning towards who had just the big moments. And like Rafi obviously had those, so he's my vote, but looks like it's Xander.
I mean, it's not a bad pick. Like, he had 2 hits all series, but they were both big time homers.
I think if Jake, you're going to give him credit for the big moments, you got to give him credit for the really low moments too.
Like, you could make the case that he cost them the game on Thursday today.
It's a tie ball game.
Yeah.
JD ties it up. It even changes JD's outlook.
Yeah. I mean, I like the approach there of saying, like, what were the big moments in that series? And they were definitely the Devers homers. In the first 2 games of that series, you could point to the Devers homers as the point in time where the A's lost. Like, the game was over when Devers homered. So now, I don't know. It's tough because he single-handedly won 2 games, but he also lost the game. He cost them a sweep.
It's Xander. Oh, no. What are you looking at over there?
Nothing.
Are you considering something again?
I'm considering something right now.
He doesn't have anything better going on.
No, he doesn't. All right. Let's see what Coley has to say about this.
We need some expertise.
Yeah. Yeah, we really do.
We don't have any of the weird out of the box ones for this either. Last couple we had what? Matt Strom, Tanner Houck.
He fucking considered like fucking Franchi one time.
That was a fun time. Robbed in that second game of this series. Let me just say that. Should have had a 3-hit game.
Yeah. Coley.
Jared.
We're in a predicament right now with the Klark's Ketchup Series MVP. And it's between Xander and our young son Rafael. Rafi only had 2 hits in the series, but they were both home runs. But his error essentially cost the Red Sox the game on Thursday. And then Bogaerts hit 545 in the series. So it's a predicament. I mean, like, statistically, Bogaerts outperformed Devers, but those 2 homers were the game enders, more or less. Where do you stand?
Yesterday, like, I don't know that things swing really mattered in that game. Trying to think, Xander's defense was outstanding in the series.
Mm-hmm.
Rafi had that sick catch. He laid down a lot. I feel like you guys probably didn't factor in how much he was laying down.
He was laying down a lot.
Thank you.
He homered 4 straight games.
Mm-hmm.
Xander's OPS is 200 points higher than Trevor Story's.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of people aren't talking about that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we are.
And I know this was the real third that you left out intentionally just so I could say it, which I appreciate. I'm going to go with Cedar Rafaela. He would be my Klark Ketchup. I mean, he single-handedly won Portland that game yesterday 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
He's just tearing the cover off the bat for the Sea Dogs.
Mm-hmm. So you're voting for the AA baseball player?
Yeah. Is that not allowable?
I mean, I guess you can really cast your vote for whoever you want.
I mean, it's tough. Pavetta shoved. Who pitched in the first game?
Pavetta.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, Winkowski was the second game.
Yeah, Winkowski was yesterday. He got his first big win. I feel like that has to be weighted pretty heavily here.
Yeah.
He was cruising, felt like he could have went longer, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Bayo also cruising in AAA.
Yeah.
Feel like he's probably in the running here as well.
Mm-hmm.
But in predicaments like this, I typically lean Xander.
Okay. I mean, that was going to be my vote as well.
He only has so many of these left that he could even qualify for before he's traded to the Cardinals. So I feel like we should probably give him one now while he's still here.
Okay. That's also fair. All right. I think that's the first time that your pick has actually ended up being the Clark's Ketchup Series MVP.
All of my picks are the real MVP. I don't care what the voters decide. The voters get that wrong all the time.
Right. That's true. Voters are not always correct.
Yeah, but I am.
But you are. Okay. All right. So congratulations to Sandra Bogarts, your Clark's Ketchup Series MVP.
Well deserved.
Awesome. Hey, Coley, thank you.
Of course.
All right. We'll talk soon. All right.
I know Jake's probably in a meeting right now, but just let him know I said hello.
Okay. We'll do that.
All right.
All right. Bye.
I'm hurt. I'm actually upset.
Well,
I'm hurt.
Have you met Coley?
No, but I'm
All
on
right.
the call. I'm in pain. That hurt.
Yeah.
My
Well, in
feelings are hurt.
fairness, he can't see you.
I thought he would just feel me.
Yeah, he could feel you. Clark's Ketchup Series MVP goes to Xander Bogarts. Congratulations to Xander. And congratulations to you if you're drinking a Gosling's Dark and Stormy right now, because we all know the power of an MVP. They make good teams great, and the folks at Gosling's Rum know a little something about MVPs. All the most valuable fans and super fans across the world who have made the Gosling's Dark and Stormy one of the most popular cocktails on the planet. That delicious combo of smooth Gosling's Black Seal Rum and spicy Gosling's Ginger Beer cannot be beat for a summertime cocktail. Visit goslingsrum.com to get Gosling's products delivered right to your doorstep and get $15 off your order of Gosling's Rum, Ginger Beer, or Dark and Stormy cans using the promo code DraftKings. 21 and over only. Please drink responsibly. I did not drink responsibly last night. We had a DraftKings party, the Adidas golf party in Southie. And I went there. I was meeting a lot of my coworkers for the very first time. And, you know, you put me in a social situation and I'm going to feel awkward. And so I was just like, all right, I'm going to start drinking. And you know me, I fucking drink.
You do alcohol.
Yeah, like when I drink, I fucking drink. And yeah, so I had a few drinks and met my coworkers and my superiors, and it was a good time. I really enjoyed myself. And Jake is a Southie guy. How would you grade your experience in Southie last night?
Yeah, it was pretty fun. When they said it was going to be at Lincoln, that's a place I go to a lot, so pretty familiar. But, I mean, DK knows how to throw a party for sure.
Yeah, they throw down. They throw down. They do be having parties. All right. Stop and Shop, look ahead. St. Louis Cardinals are coming into town. I think we avoid Jack Flaherty, which is great. I don't want to have to. I'd love to see him pitch. I think that'd be cool, but I definitely don't want to go up against Jack Flaherty. But here we go. Michael Wacha gets the ball in game 1 against Adam Wainwright. Cutter Crawford in the middle game against Dakota Hudson. That game will be on Fox if you're looking for it. Jesus Christ.
Popular guy.
Yeah.
Was it Coley?
Was not Coley.
Was it Sandra?
It was Sandra.
Is she coming over after?
I think we might be going to the Celtics game together.
Whoa.
She loves basketball.
I didn't know she was a dribble gal.
Yeah, she loves the ball, man. She loves them balls.
You know what I did hear?
What?
I don't think Pat has tickets to tonight's game.
He doesn't?
That's what sources tell me.
I mean, that's tough.
Is this what, do friends go to a basketball game like this? That's this expensive? Did you pay for the tickets?
I got them through SeatGeek.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And she was just the first person you thought of.
Well, I just know that she's a big basketball fan.
Who's her favorite player?
She loves Marcus Smart.
Huh.
Yeah.
Not the finest taste, but I respect it.
Yeah. She loves Marcus Smart. And so I was just like, I got 2 tickets to the game tonight if you're trying to come. And she was like, yeah, I am.
She was trying to what? My mic cut out. Come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just making sure I heard correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Pat, if you missed this part,
yeah.
So she could come,
right?
Not with you,
mm-hmm.
But
me.
with yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, but we're just friends.
That's what friends do.
Yeah. Yeah. So
proud of you.
Hey, I'm happy to make her happy.
Has she been in a better space lately?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, she's obviously, still a little. She's been needing like a shoulder to cry on ever since the breakup with Pat, but I've been there for her, and I'm just trying to keep her happy. That's all.
What Pat couldn't do,
right? Yeah, he just didn't have what it takes.
Didn't have the balls.
No. But again, we're just friends, so it's fine.
That make each other come?
Yeah. To games.
Only games.
Right. Yeah. Like she's like, oh, like come with me to this game. And I'm like, all right, fine. And then I was like, yeah, come with me to this game. So yeah, we're always coming to the games together.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
You're coming together.
Yeah. We just have that bond.
That happens when you come with someone.
Right. It does. So at the end of the day, she's better off. She's better off. No offense to Pat. But she's never been happier. It's mostly been since we started hanging out.
Maturity thing.
Yeah. And we started hanging out while they were still dating. But
whoa.
I mean, you knew that.
As friends.
The whole time it's been just as friends.
Will it ever be more?
No. No. Sometimes there's a line and you just don't cross it.
This is how you can be best friends with her, but also best friends with Pat.
Yeah. Yeah. And he knows that. So, yeah, we'll be at the game tonight. And, maybe hang out after. Watch a scary movie. But it's up to her. She might be tired.
You could tuck her in.
Yeah, sure. It's up to her.
I don't know where she'd sleep, but that couch does seem pretty comfortable.
Oh, to die for. Super comfy. Actually, someone yelled at me and said, why didn't you offer Tyler your couch?
I wanted to defend you. Jared did legit offer like multiple times.
Yeah.
Like, hey man, like you're welcome to stay. I just wanted to save myself the time in the morning.
Yeah.
So
it was a matter of preference.
I just want to reconfirm Jared's a good guy. Jared's a good friend.
Not a monster. Good guy.
Willing to tuck anybody in.
Yeah. See, I tuck in my guy friends too. I'm just a warm and caring soul, really.
You ever tuck Pat in?
No, but I would have if he wanted me to. I was trying to think if like we've ever like had some sort of sleepover before, but I don't think so.
He needs to come here for that to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll come here. Just like Sandra.
Yes, but different.
It's a little different. Cutter Crawford versus Dakota Hudson in the middle game. That's a Fox game if you're looking for that on TV. And then Nicky Smooches, Nick Pivetta goes against Andre Palenti. Who the fuck is that?
Recently shifted to the Cardinals rotation, if I believe.
He's a rookie.
Right?
He's a rookie. He's a fucking rookie. Anyways, Adam Wainwright just does not age. He's 5-4 with a 2.84 ERA, a 1.23 WHIP. Best ERA since 2014. Best FIP since 2016. Best home runs per 9 since 2014. For the record, he's in his age 40 season. Last year, he led all of baseball with 3 complete games. He's gone 7 innings in 3 straight starts, allowing 0, 2, and 3 earned runs. He has 17 strikeouts and 4 walks over that span. Has not allowed more than 3 earned runs in a start since April 24th. Has not allowed more than 4 earned runs in any starts this year. He's thrown 96 plus pitches in 6 straight starts and 100 plus pitches in 4 straight starts. The Cardinals are 8-4 when he starts and have won 3 straight. Red Sox hitters suck against him. 159 with a 400 OPS. Story 2 for 14 with 5 strikeouts. Not great. Dakota Hudson 4-3. 3.29 ERA, 1.25 WHIP, a 4.9 strikeouts per 9. Yikes.
The Reds kicked his teeth in last time out. And if you look at the FIP, I believe it's like 420, 421, something right around that. So a little deceiving there.
Yeah, he really only has 1 full year of starting, and it was in 2019. He only made 9 starts between 2020 and 2021. The FIP 421, nearly a full run higher than his ERA. He's made 12 starts this year. 6 of them, he's allowed 1 earned run or less. Worst outing of the season was his last time out. The Reds kicked his teeth in. 7 innings, 9 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 walks, and a loss. He did dominate the Rays. 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts. He's 6'5", but he tops out at 92. That's weird. Weird to me. Slider's good, 162 batting average against. His sinker stinks, 304 batting average against. A 529 expected slug, 8% whiff rate. Yikes. Just doesn't strike people out. Cardinals are 6-6 when he starts. They've lost their last 2. Limited exposure to Red Sox hitters. And then Andre Palenti. I don't know how the fuck you say that, but he's a rookie, making his 3rd career start in his 21st appearance. He walks a shit ton of people, 17 in 37 innings pitched. 2 of his last 3 appearances have been starts. He's their long guy out of the pen, so he can go like 4 or 5. He's just not an opener. Fastball's averaging 95.3, so that's pretty solid. Curveball, his curveball has a whiff rate of 34%, which is pretty good, but it has a batting average against of 353 and a slug of 588. So that makes no fucking sense. He's either just punching dudes out with his curveball or it's getting fucking hammered. I don't know. Makes no sense. Anyways, the Cards are 12-8 when he pitches and 2-0 when he starts. He's never faced the Red Sox, obviously. I'm excited to see Goldie come into town. Fucking Nolan's going to be here. Tommy Edman.
I'm scared. I'm scared of Nolan Arenado.
Yeah.
Goldschmidt's having an MVP type of year. No disrespect to him. I was looking. Arenado versus Waka is like 6 for 14 with 3 homers. Absolutely owns Michael Waka in his career. So that's one of those matchups I kind of keep an eye on if you're a little nervous, and we know Waka's not coming off his finest starts by any means, in Seattle with Julio Rodriguez taking him deep. But I don't know. I think it's important to come out in this series, and I know it's not easy against a guy like Adam Wainwright, especially when you don't have a lot of success against him. But I don't know. This feels like a little bit of a measuring stick for you after playing a lot of mediocre teams. And there's nothing wrong with that. The Red Sox have cleaned up against them. That's what they're supposed to do. That's what good baseball teams do. But this is really like an appetizer for what's going to lie ahead in the coming weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And can you show that you can compete with, a team that's one of the better ones in all of baseball right now?
Would I be a traitor if I went to the game with Jack Flaherty?
No, you'd still be rooting for the Red Sox.
Yeah.
He's your friend.
My pal.
Well, I don't think that's wrong. And especially for him, like finally getting back to the bigs now, being healthy again.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like a reason to celebrate.
Yeah. I think that's who I'm going to go with.
Do you feel guilty?
I would if he was pitching in the series, but he's not.
So I think it's A-okay.
Yeah, he's not pitching in this series, so I don't feel bad about it. So yeah, I'm going to go to the finals with Jack Flaherty.
Wait. I think I missed something.
What?
You're going to go to the finals? So you're going with him?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, Sandra's coming.
Yes. I didn't know you were third wheeling.
Well, that's the whole thing is like Sandra's just my friend.
Yeah. Well, I had heard that Albert Pujols got them a suite.
Yes.
Now,
so, like the whole thing is like there's nothing going on with Sandra and me. So like if I go to the game with both of them, it's not weird. It's like you're not intruding on a date.
You're not setting her up with him, are you?
No.
Well, I know she has a thing for pitchers.
Yeah, she does. Yeah. She loves big arms.
Obviously, Jack Flaherty would be quite the upgrade. No offense to Pat.
Oh,
I'm not trying to
time,
be
yeah.
mean.
Way better.
Everything.
Definitely has more money. Yeah.
Way more.
Better looking. Yeah.
Oh, easily.
Yeah. Easily.
Interesting. Okay. So I just didn't. Now I can kind of envision the night a little bit.
Yeah.
No, you should definitely. You're going to a Celtics game. You shouldn't feel bad one bit.
Yeah. I mean, the Red Sox are going to be there, but no one on the Red Sox invited me to the fucking finals.
It's kind of mean. Do you feel left out?
No. But that's what happens. You don't want to invite me to the game. Fine, I'll go with fucking the Cardinals.
I respect it.
Yeah.
You gonna get a picture of Albert Pujols?
Yeah, me and Albert are pretty tight.
I had heard you were boys, but I just wasn't sure. This goes way back though. This is like his early playing days.
Yeah, we met in 2004 during the World Series. We became friends, and there was no texting back then, so we used to just talk on the phone.
Wow. So like it wasn't anything awkward. You guys could just keep the conversation going.
Right. And he's actually the one that taught me how to speak Spanish.
I always forget you could do that.
Fluent, yeah.
¿Cómo te llama?
See?
Mi amigo.
Yeah. And that's what I'm talking about. So, yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, to me, he's just Albert. Yeah.
Is he in a good place these days?
Yeah. He loves it. He's back in St. Louis. He's cranking homers. He's on his farewell tour with his buddies, Wayno, Yachty. It's a good time. So, I'm excited.
Tell him I said hi.
I'll tell him you said, hola.
He'll get that.
Yeah.
Fellow Spanish guys.
Yeah. He's definitely fluent. Jake, you speak any Spanish?
Yeah, Albert actually taught me to.
Okay. That's sick. Where did you guys meet?
We met also in 04. I was 6. Yep. I just wanted to sign ball. He signed my ball, and then we kept in touch ever since. We really talked a lot when he wasn't playing, but now that he's back, it's sort of been like a little bit of lack of communication, but I get that.
Right. I feel that. That's
Where you
pretty
got
solid.
Huh. So I'm the only one on this podcast that doesn't know Albert personally.
Well, I mean, I'll introduce you if you want to meet him.
It just seems like he built these special bonds with a lot of people in 2004.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he'd still be open to it.
Yeah. I mean, that's That's something that he'd probably be open to. Yeah, we can talk to him.
I speak Spanish.
You do?
I took some Spanish back in my day.
Okay.
You heard me earlier.
Yeah, no, you were nailing it.
Don't make me repeat myself.
No, I never would. But all right, I guess I'm gonna go to the finals with Albert Pujols and Sandra and Jack Flaherty. So, you guys enjoy the game. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. I'm gonna enjoy my night.
I'll see you there.
Yeah, you can come if you want. Yeah.
No, I'm not asking for an invite.
No, you're just gonna go.
I got invited by certain people.
Who did you get invited by?
A couple of the guys.
The Sox or the Cards?
I'm not a trader.
Okay, fair. It's fair. It's fair.
You may know Albert.
Mm-hmm.
I know certain guys on the Sox.
Yeah, you and Franchi.
Not in 04.
Okay,
More of a 2011 guy.
got it. So you're going to the game with Alfredo Cevis?
He got invited by Franchi as well.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
You're welcome to come say what's up.
Yeah, I'll come by. Just let me know. Let me know where you guys are at. I'll come say hi.
Just shoot me a text beforehand so I can
Okay.
let them know. I don't want it to be weird.
Yeah. I'm not trying to just like sneak up on the fellas.
You know what I mean? You know how AC is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Right. Yep. Okay.
Just don't forget to text me.
Yeah, I'll text. I'll give you the heads up. All right. Enjoy the weekend series against the St. Louis Cardinals. I hope the Red Sox win. Oh yeah, series predictions.
2 out of 3.
You don't believe that?
I'm nervous. I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like how this series ended going into this, but I will bank on 2 out of 3. I think the Red Sox need to. This is a measuring stick series. Come out and play well. It just, you got Cutter Crawford. Can you get a second good start out of him? Obviously, Walker going up against his former team. From 2012 to 2019, first time facing them. But you got Nick Pivetta in that last day. I think the last 2 games of the series, I don't like the opener, but I'll go 2 out of 3. I'm going to stay positive. I'm not going to get caught up in the series finale. I'm going to go 2 out of 3.
Jake?
They've been blue balling us on sweep, so I think they're due. So I got a sweep.
Okay, due for a sweep. Yeah, give me 2 out of 3. Give me 2 out of 3. I think they can.
You don't sound confident.
Yeah, I mean, it's like which game are they going to lose? Probably the Waino game. I don't love losing 2 straight, but if that means they win the next 2 and we have a happy pod, then I'm a happy guy. So I'm going to go Sox 2 out of 3. But then again, it's like Walker versus Wainwright. Could you maybe steal that game? And then I guess like if you're going to lose, Dakota Hudson's pretty good, but he's not as good as you would think he is. Like,
I'm a little nervous about Cutter Crawford getting a second start, especially against that lineup, because I don't project him as a starter long term.
No.
But I don't think Dakota Hudson's very good. I think that ERA is extremely deceiving.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the Red Sox can take the final 2 games of the series. Wainwright feels like the exact kind of pitcher that would give this. He gives every team trouble, but especially this Red Sox team.
Yeah. All right. Sox 2 out of 3. I'm sticking with it, and I feel good about it. Enjoy your weekend of Red Sox baseball. We'll be back on Monday morning. Go Celtics.
Buenas noches, amigos.